Liza Drake is a struggling single mother working as an exotic dancer in Florida while raising her teenage daughter Phoebe and dealing with Phoebe's father who lives in Savannah. After meeting Pete Brenner at her club and having a friendly and casual conversation, he offers her a job paying $100,000 per year. Later, Liza is called into her daughter's school when her daughter and her friends are suspended for starting a fire near the campus. Liza takes Phoebe and her niece home, where she's living out of her sister's garage. After an argument about money, her sister kicks her out and Liza and Phoebe move into a motel. After her car is towed from the motel, Liza tracks down Pete to his office to take him up on his job offer. Unbeknownst to her, the pharmaceutical company he works for, Xana, is failing and they're desperately attempting to sell the company before they reach bankruptcy. Pete looks at Liz's resume and forges a more impressive curricula vitae, claiming she has a bachelor's degree in biochemistry. He then takes her to meet the founder of the company, Dr. Jack Neal, who hires her immediately despite the company being on an apparent hiring freeze. Pete gives her a 5-day probation to convince a major physician to prescribe their marquee drug, Lonafin. Liza goes through the entire list of potential clients in fewer than 5 days and fails to secure any prescriptions. Meanwhile, Phoebe experiences a seizure and they learn she has CAVN. Thinking the job opportunity is over, she returns to the office of Dr. Liza, her first sales attempt to collect a piece of Tupperware she left with him, and overhears a cancer patient and his wife discussing the poor side effects he's experiencing from a more commonly prescribed drug. After making a convincing and transparent case that Lonafin would be a better option for his patient, Liza agrees to prescribe it. Liza also invites him to help launch their speaker program wherein he can share his testimony about the drug's efficacy as a physician. The event initially fails and Liza nearly ends his relationship with Xana despite his patient praising the drug. But Liza is able to salvage the situation and turn it into a proper speaker's program. When Pete offers Liza financial incentives to prescribe Lonafin, Liza officially signs on. A few days later, Pete shows Liza that Liza has been prescribing Lonafin as often as he can. After her success with Liza, a flood of new recruits arrive hoping to join Xana as sales reps. After sending the team out into the field, Xana rises to take 86% of the market share in the Northeast. Larkin tries to expose Liza as a fraud for her resume that Pete doctored. This backfires and angers Neal, who promotes Liza to national sales director, and Pete to coup, the latter of whom immediately fires Larkin. As Xana continues to rake in profits, they move into a larger headquarters and Neal's eccentricities begin to manifest more clearly. During an executive meeting, CEO Eric Paley makes suspicious comments, provoking Pete to aggressively frisk him where he finds his smartphone is recording the meeting. Paley claims he's just recording it as an insurance policy, in case the company runs into legal trouble. Paley is fired, but cashes in on his company shares and earns millions. Neal grows angry and impatient when sales begin to flatten out, and pressures Liza and the sales team to push the drug off-label, marketing it for all types of pain, not just cancer. He also instructs Liza to fire her mother, Jackie, after he slept with her following a speaker program, whom Liza hired as a representative with the initial group. Liza approaches Liza with her new marching orders and is disappointed when he readily agrees to prescribe Lonafin off-label. Meanwhile, Phoebe experiences another seizure during a school rehearsal, and the doctor tells her the arterial mass in Phoebe's brain has grown and she needs to have the surgery to have it removed. Liza attempts to offer her stock options in Xana as collateral for a loan that will pay for Phoebe's surgery, but the bank denies her because of the volatility in the pharmaceutical industry. After Liza is arrested in a de-sting operation, Liza believes Xana is finished as a company, and in desperation approaches Neal for financial help paying for the surgery. Neal instead exhorts her to use the crisis of Phoebe's situation as fire for inspiration, like he did when his wife was dying from cancer and he came up with Lonafin. After her friend Camille's husband Sidney dies from an overdose on Lonafin and Camille coldly rejects Liz's condolences. Liza decides to testify to the U.S. Attorney's Office that's investigating Xana. She admits that she helped build Xana's speaker program and worked to bring their bribery program into compliance. When asked who else signed off on those programs, she confirms the names given to her: Eric Paley, Pete Brenner, and Jack Neal. She's told testimony won't be enough, and they ask for greater proof linking Neal to the criminal activity, which Liza explains is nearly impossible because Neal has insulated himself from the daily operations. At the next speaker program, Liza attempts to steal a printout from Pete's jacket, but he catches her in the parking lot before she can leave and finds the printout in her purse. Pete is implicated and arrested, though Neal offers to take care of his family and assets while he's in prison. The FBI also catch up to Eric Paley and arrest him. While all of his executives were being arrested, Neal remained untouchable, even appearing on magazine covers. Liza recalls her mom's earlier affair with Neal and asks how she corresponded with him. Jackie says he didn't give out his phone but gave her his email, which she used to make her request for a commission increase that Neal wanted her fired for. Liza finds that Jackie had saved emails, and they served as the link between Neal and their illegal activities at Xana. In the U.S. Attorney's depositions, experts reveal that Lonafin is just fentanyl, which is why non-terminal patients who were prescribed the drug became addicted and often died from overdose. Lytle, Paley, Brenner, and Neal all received fines and prison sentences after a heartfelt apology given in court, and the U.S. Attorney's recommendation that Liza not serve a prison sentence in order not to discourage future whistleblowers. The judge still sentences Liza to 16 months in prison, stating that her greed cost lives. 15 months later, Liza has been released early and has partnered with her mother and some of the original sales representatives from Xana to form the cosmetics company that she and Jackie had envisioned when Liza was still living in her sister's garage. Liza considers that she almost never thinks about her former career with Xana, except when she can't sleep. She'll dream about running Xana as the CEO and saving it from the corruption that became its downfall. But she quickly abandons those thoughts because they scare her.